What's going on, YouTubers? It's the Natural Born Driller, and welcome everyone to All Elite Wrestling Review, the show from November 9th, 2019. This will be a peer review of recap of AEW Full Gear 2019 that took place in Baltimore, Maryland at the Royal Farms Arena under the promotion of All Elite Wrestling. And before I move on to the show itself, I just wanted to talk about what happened on that date of November 9th, 2019. November 9th, 2019. Unfortunately, the pro wrestling world has lost an up-and-coming wrestler who wrestled for House of Glory and probably other promotions as well, when it pertains to indie wrestling. Unfortunately, we lost an upcoming young wrestling star in Matt Travis, who unfortunately passed away on that date of November 9th, 2019. Only 25 years old. Gone too soon. He died, riding his bike, and then a dump truck made an illegal turn, hit him, and basically it was a hit and run. Some people say it was an accidental hit and run. To me, I don't think it was accidental, because if it was a situation where it was a hit and run, then obviously hit and run means it wasn't accidental, and then the dump truck just kept on going. Now, I don't know what's the difference between an accidental hit and run or an intentional hit and run, but whenever I hear a hit and run, it means to me it doesn't come off to me as accidental. And it's unfortunate what happened to Matt Travis, that a dump truck made an illegal turn and hitting him, and then as it going, kept on going, while even checking what the driver hit. So very uncalled for there, and again, it's unfortunate that someone like a Matt Travis, who's up and coming, who could have been gone to anywhere, whenever he was done with House of Glory or whatever. That had to happen, and my prayers, my condolences, my sympathy, my thoughts will go out to Matt Travis's families, friends, and to everyone surrounding that knew him and love him. And all I can do now is to give a moment of silence to one an upcoming star who could have been up and coming. Like I said, anywhere he could have went, like an Impact Wrestling or Ring of Honor or AEW or WWE, whichever he could have went to, wherever he decided to go to. It's unfortunate he's gone. Didn't know much about him. Didn't see much of his matches. But it's unfortunate that we that someone like Matt Travis is gone from this wrestling industry. So a wrestler that's no longer here, and so also my thoughts, prayers, condolences, and sympathy goes to the wrestling community for losing a Matt Travis. So I want to take this moment for 10 seconds of moment of silence for the following of Matt Travis. Thank you. So now let's continue on with this review, and I'll talk more about Matt Travis as we go through what happened on the show. So the show itself, what pertains to the commentators, we have Glow, JR, Jim Ross, and Excalibur that did commentary on the main card. There was no Tony Schiavone, unfortunately. I don't know why Tony Schiavone wasn't there. There was no explanation why he wasn't there. But what pertains to the buy-in commentators, you have Excalibur, Golden Boy, and Taz. And the thing is, what pertains to Taz being there, if Tony Schiavone for some reason couldn't be there, why not have Taz join along with Jim Ross and Excalibur. Yeah, have a third man booth, to be part of the main card. But they didn't. Maybe Taz couldn't do it. Maybe he had other plans to because he probably had that call to just do the buy-in commentary, and that was probably it. I don't know if he still stuck around, but if he did stick around, he could have been the third wheel, the third right hand man to be on commentary with Jim Ross and Excalibur. It would have been awesome to have Taz there, on the main card, of the pay-per-view, but they didn't, and it's but maybe in the future they'll think about that. If Tony Schiavone couldn't make it there for some reason. But speaking of Spanish commentators, I'm about to get to it. But speaking of commentators, we had Spanish commentators, which I didn't they didn't even acknowledge it, not that I recall, or they didn't even mention it, or even show it. But Spanish commentators, you have someone named Alex Abrahantes. I think that's how you say it. Abrahantes, I think that's how you say it. And then you have Dasha Gonzalez, who is better known as Dasha Flendez from the WWE, who is now part of AEW. It's a nice fit for her. She could and I talked about her before. She could show personality, she could show charisma, she can show who she really is. Unlike with WWE, having Dasha being shown what WWE should feel like how they should be presenting her. So in AEW, she could present her 100% freedom instead of being handcuffed and shackled and being chained up. So Dasha Bot. That was WWE's way to promote and to present Dasha Flendez at the time to be a robot. But seeing Dasha Gonzalez here is a nice fit for her in AEW, and to show that she's not a robot. Ring announcer was Justin Roberts. Your referees, Aubrey Edwards, Bryce Remsburg. I'll get to him later too. He's the incompetent referee when it pertains to what he did to Pac's match against Trent from that Go Home Show edition of AEW Dynamite. Earl Hebner, the legendary, iconic, senior referee of AEW. Paul Turner and Rick Knox. And when it pertains to the AEW World Championship match judges, I'll get to that later on when we get to the AEW World Championship match. And the interviewer, Golden Boy. I'm gonna mention this right now. When it pertains to interviewer, Golden Boy, it was on the main card. I'm gonna get this out of the way, that way I won't have to mention it again. On the main card, Golden Boy interviewed Kip Sabian, who is super bad. And all of a sudden, we get Penelope Ford coming into this interview, and Kip Sabian, valet is Penelope Ford. And I see myself, wait a minute, so she's not with Joey Janela anymore? And here's the thing with that too. Of what I heard, Joey Janela and Penelope Ford used to be a couple, but for some reason that ended. I don't know if it ended in bad terms, but hopefully it ended in good terms because they're both in the same company. Penelope Ford and Joey Janela. Because the thing is with Joey Janela, he's bad boy Joey. He's bad boy Joey Janela, and you got bad girl Penelope Ford. So that may be the case that they broke up, and then now you got Kip Sabian, who's in that company with AEW, who is super bad. Kip Sabian is now being has a manager, a valet in the bad girl Penelope Ford, who are now real life couples. And I guess you could say at this point we're returning to Kip Sabian because the whole incident where he kissed a fan, a dude, which I know who that was. But anyways, I'm not gonna go too long with that one. But at least we're returning to seeing this on the show of Full Gear on the main card with Kip Sabian and Penelope Ford together. As you can say now that Kip Sabian is straight. So there you go. But I digress. Now, before I get to the match itself, I'll have it in the buy-in. On the buy-in, they showed 3 video package, or should I say three? Well, there are video packages and also video vignettes. But I'm gonna call it as video promos. Three important ones that was promoted very strongly and promoted to being a triple main event. And by the way, one of them, basically 1 out of the 4 was not included what pertains to the AEW Women's World Championship. But I'll get to that later on too. But the first one I saw, and I don't remember it wasn't in order, but I remember seeing the one video that they show for this video promo was Proud and Powerful versus the Young Bucks. It was nice and well done. It pertains to two respective teams of their backgrounds, how they grew up, where they came about, how they came pro wrestling fans, and how they end up being in pro wrestling, and then it's going to lead to who was the best tag team and everything. It was nice and well done. I loved it. And then we get to Cody Rhodes versus Chris Jericho, where pertains to the AEW World Championship, and the way that was being told, with Cody Rhodes' position of being in AEW, not just as a wrestler, but also a vice president as well, and with Chris Jericho, being with his megastar power and everything, and him being the champion of AEW, being the AEW World Champion, and being the leader of the Inner Circle, and all that, and then with their build-ups leading up to this point for Full Gear. I thought that was nice and well done too. And then what pertains to the unsanctioned Lights Out match. I'll get to more of that when I get to that particular match. Jon Moxley and Kenny Omega. That was nice and well done too. What pertains to where they were supposed to fight each other back in All Out, but because of Moxley's staph infection came back, he had to take care of that, and then hold it with Kenny Omega and Moxley, going back and forth on one another, and building up for the match to happen at Full Gear. And then I remember in that video package, the video promo itself, that the one thing that I took out of that was Kenny Omega name dropping the King of Pop, Michael Jackson. Now I don't remember how that came about, what pertains to Kenny Omega mentioning Michael Jackson, but just hearing Kenny Omega saying Michael Jackson was a plus for me there. So I did enjoy it. Kenny Omega, mentioning the name of Michael Jackson, one of my favorites, my American Idol, my #1 artist of all time, my personal all time great in the music business, in the music industry, and Michael Jackson. So it's nice that Kenny Omega did that. But also he talked about chain wrestling as well, where it tends to Jon Moxley and everything, because of the way the match is being built, where it tends to unsanctioned, and where the match is not going to count and everything. So but it tends to win-loss records. So yeah, 3 video promos were nice and well done on the buy-in that they show. And now we get to the match itself. Pertains to the one match that was promoted on the buy-in, which it should have been on the main card, in my opinion. But there was a reason why, and there was also a reason why it was on the. Well, I want to say there was a reason why, other than what pertains to Dr. Britt Baker, DMD versus Bea Priestley. This match itself, the build-up is as well pertains to the feud. Obviously was part of the buy-in for a good portion of 2019 for AEW, and especially what pertains to on AEW Dynamite, and pertains to what I saw on AEW Dark as well. And I think they made sure this on here as well, as before the match even began, where Britt Baker was talking a lot of smack about Bea Priestley, about being unprofessional and everything and all that, where it ends up being a real heat between those two because of what Bea Priestley did to Britt Baker back at the Fight for the Fallen, where Britt Baker ended up having a concussion and all that, and I remember where fans were giving Britt Baker a lot of crap about, she didn't know what she was doing and all that. Yeah, because she had a concussion. She had suffered a concussion in the match because of Bea Priestley. Not against Bea Priestley. I'm not trying to to bash Bea Priestley here, but that's what happened. In wrestling, it happens. It is what it is. But Britt Baker felt like she did it on purpose and everything. And then this isn't the first time where Bea Priestley ends up being a professional. Sadie Gibbs back at All Out from the for a reason during the match, so that Bea Priestley did to Sadie Gibbs where it ended up having a real personal fight backstage, afterwards, that. So, but anyways, but the way this match was being built up and being promoted, it should have been on the main card. But instead, what we got on the main card instead, didn't help its case at all. We're to the show itself, a Full Gear, the pay-per-view. But I'll get to more of that, when I get to the match, and I'll get to more of that when I get to my overall showing of this pay-per-view itself as well. But the match itself between Britt Baker versus Bea Priestley, Taz noted on commentary that Britt Baker, was battling a flu. So, match lasted 11 minutes and 35 seconds. Match itself, it was alright. But again, because Bea Priestley had a flu, she didn't work 100% at her best. But at the same time, she's still a little green. Other than her 2 other matches that she had, which I thought they were great, and for many reasons, is because it was a multi-women's match at the time, like from All In, and from what was the other one? Yeah, Double or Nothing. And All In was not part of AEW, by the way. It was just a promotion that the Young Bucks and Cody Rhodes did. But y'all sure know that though. But in the end, it was Britt Baker winning with the lockjaw submission move. And after the match, all of a sudden, lights goes out. At this point, Bea Priestley was in the ring. Britt Baker was not in the ring anymore. She was gone. And we have Awesome Kong coming out, being accompanied by Brandi Rhodes. And Awesome Kong attacks Bea Priestley. And all of a sudden, Brandi Rhodes holds on to Bea Priestley as he holds on to her hair and everything. And then Awesome Kong pulls out a knife. Gives it to, I think she may have given it to Brandi Rhodes, or Awesome Kong did it herself. Either way, they used a knife and cut the piece of her hair of Bea Priestley, and then Awesome Kong ends up collecting it. So I guess this is going to be Awesome Kong's thing. She's going to be collecting hairs from these AEW women's, because she did this on AEW Dynamite as well, which I'll do that review when I get a chance. And by the way, I just want to say too, I apologize for not giving you this review on time, and I'm way behind with other reviews as well, but pertains to not just with AEW, before WWE and Impact, and you already know about the whole thing with New Japan, Ring of Honor, and Lucha Underground. But yeah, it's I will get to that eventually. But at the same time, I gotta find a good way to do it too as well. To have some freedom time to do so. But anyways, yeah, that's gonna be the other thing with Awesome Kong. She's gonna be the hair collector, and Brandi Rhodes is just there to look goth and all that, and I still don't care for Brandi Rhodes. Now we get to the main card, and before we get to the main card itself, I gotta talk about the stage. The stage looks great. It really live up to the name of Full Gear, where it pertains to the stage itself, the atmosphere, the theme of it. I loved it. I thought it looked great, and I love the elevated rampway that they used. And it's been used before, back in the days of WCW, even with TNA / Impact Wrestling. New Japan Pro Wrestling is known to do that as well. I love that that AEW is doing that too as well. So it was a plus there. I did this before too, back in Fight for the Fallen. I'm assuming that's what they did too as well, but I digress. So now let's get to the show itself, and then we have pyros on the show too as well, not just for the wrestlers' entrances, but also pertains to just kicking off this pay-per-view, Full Gear 2019. Now let's get to the pay-per-view now, to the matches. Proud and Powerful, Santana and Ortiz representing the Inner Circle, versus the Young Bucks, Matt and Nick Jackson, representing the Elite. The Elite. Match lasted 21 minutes and... Oh no, actually just 21 minutes. So, this was the first main event out of the 3. And this was the opener. This was the curtain jerker. And Proud and Powerful, representing Santana and Ortiz, they dedicated this match to the late fallen friend of theirs in Matt Travis. Now, in the match, they won. Proud and Powerful, and they didn't just win against the Young Bucks. They won clean. They beat the Young Bucks clean with the street sweeper. Now, they may have won. I predicted it was going to win too, and they should won. They should have won either way. There was no doubt about it. There was no debate about it. There was no second questioning. There was no going back at it. They needed to win. There was no need for the Young Bucks to win at all. I'm not saying that they should be losing all the time. They need to get some win backs either way. But against Proud and Powerful, no, because Proud and Powerful are living up to what they said from the very beginning when they got into AEW, that they are the best, because they are the best tag teams right now in this generation, in this millennial era in professional wrestling. They proved it in TNA / Impact Wrestling, where it tends to them being LAX, and they're proving it right here, right now in AEW as Proud and Powerful. Because if they weren't proud, they wouldn't be powerful. And that's the theme song, by the way. But anyways, so regardless of the fallen friend Matt Travis, they was gonna win this match either way. So yeah, they dedicated the match for Matt Travis. Even if Matt Travis didn't unfortunately passed away on that day, and Proud and Powerful was going against Young Bucks in the match for Full Gear on that day. They was going to win regardless either way. They were booked to win the match either way against against the Young Bucks. So, but at the same time, with Matt Travis dying, it was nice that Proud and Powerful did send out a tribute and to dedicate this match to Matt Travis in this particular match. Yeah, and this match itself was good. It could have been better, but I thought the match was still ends up being pretty damn good. You also had the Rock and Roll Express and Ricky Morton and Robert Gibson at ringside, in the crowd to watch it. They were in front row. After the match, Sammy Guevara comes out, and they beat up on the Young Bucks. Also, the Rock and Roll Express gets involved. They come for the save, and Ricky Morton, he does a sunset flip Canadian Destroyer to Ortiz, or at this point, Rock and Roll Destroyer. And I say to myself, whoa, what the hell? And then all of a sudden, he does a suicide dive to Sammy Guevara and Santana on the outside. I'm like, whoa, what the hell? Like, Ricky Morton's doing these bumps, and and he's up there in age, like, well, in his 60s, whatever. And like, he's doing that type of bumps. I'm like, wow. I mean, Robert Gibson, I haven't seen him do any that type of crazy bumps, but he was still moving in the ring like he could still go to as well. But Ricky Morton was doing the craziest bumps in this. And like, wow, that was crazy. So it was nice that happened. And that was the match. Then we get to Hangman Adam Page versus Pac. Lasted 18 minutes and 30 seconds. This was the weakest match out of the match that they had from AEW Dynamite. And another thing is too, folks, is that they had this match again on AEW Dynamite. At a couple days after this pay-per-view. This was the weakest match I've seen. Now the match wasn't bad. It was still in a way decent, but at the same time it was solid. And on top of that too, my complaint about this match, my nitpick at this match, was that what was the point of them fighting? What were they fighting for? Other than what? Just get some wins in their belts. I mean, unless there was a stipulation in this match, like to get a title shot, or at least make it a no rules type of match or whatever. No, it was just a regular singles match between these two. And then they had a match again, days later, on AEW Dynamite. And I think so what was the point of this other match happening on the pay-per-view? When you had people spending $50 watching this, that you just did the match again, days later. I don't get it. I didn't understand this at all. But despite that, Pac tried to cheat to win, but Adam Page he basically was one step ahead of him, and he gave him a low blow instead. Bryce Remsburg was refereeing this match, by the way. So in the end, it was him and Adam Page getting the win with the dead eye. And yeah, so this is Pac losing his singles match, no longer undefeated. And him and Adam Page got some win on his belt there, but at the same time, they end up having a rubber match on AEW Dynamite days after this pay-per-view. So yeah, I don't get that at all, but it's what I guess it is what it is, right? And then we get to Shawn Spears being accompanied by Tully Blanchard defeating Joey Janela. 11 minutes and 45 seconds it lasted. So this match I didn't care for that much. And and they try, Shawn Spears and Joey Janela, especially when it pertains to Tully Blanchard's involvement in the match. They try, but their effort didn't make me care whatsoever about this match. I didn't care about this match at all. Even the crowds didn't care about this match. So you have Britt Baker and Rhea Ripley had a better build than these two have ever had, where it pertains to this show Full Gear. But they were in the buy-in. But you got Spears and Janela on the main card. And even worse, Joey Janela, he was protected in this match against Shawn Spears in the losing effort. I think Tully Blanchard may have got involved, which is why Joey Janela lost. Because obviously Tully Blanchard was going to get involved either way. But I think it was Tully Blanchard's involvement is what caused Joey Janela to lose, to be protected of losing against Shawn Spears. The same Shawn Spears who ends up calling himself the AEW chairman because what he did to Cody Rhodes back in Fyter Fest with the chair shot. So it just shows you right there how they value Shawn Spears as a character. Unbelievable. Next, three-way tag team match for the AEW World Tag Team Championship. Lasted 13 minutes. With SoCal Uncensored, Frankie Kazarian and Scorpio Sky, SCU, who are the defending AEW World Tag Team Champions, taking on the Lucha Brothers, Pentagon Jr. and Rey Fenix, taking on Private Party, Isaiah Cassidy and Mark Quinn. Match itself, it was decent. There's nothing to say about it other than Rey Fenix was amazing in this match, because he is amazing. And that's all I can say about this match. The match wasn't bad. I just thought it was just decent. It could have been better. I'll just say that. But will I go back to watch the match again? No. Just like we're just Adam Page and Pac from this Full Gear match for pay-per-view. Will I go back to watch that match again? No. That's just the honest truth. But in the end, it was SoCal Uncensored getting the win by being one of the private parties with SCU later. By the way, Shawn Spears beat Joey Janela with the Death Valley Driver. So they're running Death Valley Driver. But anyways, so SoCal Uncensored retained, still AEW World Tag Team Champions. Now there was two things that could have happened here. One, Lucha Bros could have won by beating Private Party. That way they can still protect SoCal Uncensored of not losing the titles by losing. Or SoCal Uncensored could have won by beating Private Party. Either way, Private Party was good. And that's nothing too. Private Party on the Go Home show of Full Gear 2019 on the AEW Dynamite episode, when they won against Dark Order, So basically, they were putting they want the match to be put into the match just for them to lose. That way, they could protect so-called Ancestor and Lucha Brothers of losing. Yeah, if one of them would have lost. So Private Party ends up being the following team, the following the tag team jobbers in this match. But regardless, so-called Ancestor, SCU ends up retaining because they were not going to just let them lose after they just won the tag belts, at the win the tournament. So, but after the match, the Lucha Brothers attacks SCU. Also, like Pentagon Jr. try to go for the package power driver. He causes Zero Miedo onto Frankie Kazarian on the steel chair, but also the lights goes out. Then the lights comes back on, and we see a Pentagon Jr. Twin. And obviously it was gonna be it was Christopher Daniels. And sure enough it was, basically. Because he was doing some wrestling moves that looks familiar of what Christopher Daniels has been doing. So sure enough it was Christopher Daniels fighting off the Lucha Brothers. He unmasked himself, and it was basically the fallen angel for Christopher Daniels, pertains to his persona back in Ring of Honor and from TNA Wrestling at the time. But SCU stands tall as Lucha Brothers retreat, and that's good. It's probably going to lead to a feud between Christopher Daniels and Pentagon Jr. somewhere down the line. Unfortunately, they didn't do it on days later on AEW Dynamite to capitalize on it. They just didn't think about it, I guess. But I don't know. But that was that. Now we get to the AEW to the AEW Women's World Championship. It lasted 13 minutes and 20 seconds between the AEW Women's World Champion Riho, my favorite by the way, because Riho Mania is running wild in AEW, versus Emi Sakura. There we go, Emi Sakura. Now, remember I said about the 3 matches were a triple main event for AEW Full Gear, and it pertains to 4 matches that should have been 4 main events for AEW Full Gear to be pushed and to be promoted and to be presented like it was going to be an important match for AEW Full Gear. 1 out of the 4 wasn't either of them, and that was the AEW World Women's Championship. The AEW Women's World Championship. And I say to myself, if you don't consider that as your top main event for Full Gear, then you don't value the AEW Women's World Championship title as as an importance. What pertains to women's wrestling, it should be important to be as one of your main events. But they didn't make it that out to be as it is, unfortunately. But, and the reason I say that too is because there was a video promo that they did here before the match, where it pertains to Riho, who was trained by Emi Sakura, and they show old video footage of it and everything. Riho being trained by Emi Sakura, and basically it was the build between these two, where it's the student versus the teacher, and the whole thing where will the student surpass the teacher in this match, because the student who's an AEW Women's World Champion, who's in her 20s, her early 20s, 22 or 23 years old, and then meanwhile you got Emi Sakura, who is in her 40s, and still looks good, good and young of her age. And I think it would have made more sense if Emi Sakura was the AEW Women's World Champion and Riho was the under challenger. Where they could have done a bit of build for this one, where Riho as the student versus Emi Sakura as the teacher, who's the champion for the women's division of AEW. That would have been more better. It would have been promoted and unplugged more better, more beneficial of it if it was done that way. But instead, it was it was the student who is the student who's the world champion in AEW in the women's division against a teacher who wants to be the champion, and she wants to teach her student a lesson of in that type of way, or however they wanted to do it. But anyways, so as far as the match was between Riho versus Emi Sakura, good match. I expect it to be a little bit more better. And the reason I say that is because I feel like it could have been I feel like it could have been better. Just like how I felt about what pertains to Proud and Powerful versus the Young Bucks. So I still enjoyed the match though. But what I did enjoy about this match is one thing. The referee. And his name is Bryce Rensburg. Bryce Rensburg, who's the same referee who's being incompetent from the match between Pac and Trent from the Go Home show on AEW Dynamite, where Pac did the Black Arrow. That's the finishing move. He goes for the cover to Trent, and then he goes to the count 1, 2, and he stops. And he's like, he kicked out. No, he didn't. You're supposed to be a referee that's supposed to go for a shoot count. Because if it doesn't go as a plan, you gotta improvise. You gotta just go with the flow. Just make the shoot count. I get it. That was not supposed to be the finish, and maybe and it's his fault. That's his it was his own failure to communicate with the wrestlers that that was unbooking in that match. Where Pac, where maybe Pac in a way was supposed to transmit it into the neutralizer or whatever. I mean the brutalizer, I meant to say. And I don't know, but either way I couldn't. There's either way it was gonna go wrong either way. But I wish it went wrong that way. But we got what we got there, and I blame the referee for that. Bryce Rensburg gets a full blame of the way the match was was a cluster of a mess the way it was done. And the reason why I say that is because Pac was pissed off at that because that, I mean, at the same time he's always pissed off. Pac. There's never a day goes by that we don't see Pac in a very good mood, or let alone crack a smile. He's always like he's pissed off, which is why he's called the bastard. But anyways, why do I bring this referee involved? What's this got to do with this match now? He was incompetent again because Riho was covered by Emi Sakura. And referee goes for the count 1, and then he stops, and then he goes 1, 2, and we all thought right there that was it. That was over. Everyone thought at home, everyone thought in the arena thought the match was over because of that. And the crowds, were chanting bullshit, whatever. I don't remember how they chanted, but yeah, the referee once again, Bryce Rensburg once again screwed up again. How do you screw up twice already in being an official of AEW? It's bad of you screwed over Pac, what pertains to his finishing move, the Black Arrow, which, by the way, WWE has done a tremendous job of protecting his finishing move at the time when he was called Neville, and at the time when it was called the Red Arrow. They protected that move to a petite. AEW, not so much. That pissed me off, And then we get to this point where Riho, look like she lost there because the referee was incompetent once again. Like what's wrong with this referee? How do you mess up twice? First with Pac's match, and now with Riho's match. But in the end, it was Riho winning the match with a double foot stomp. Emi Sakura. So yeah, Emi Sakura, the teacher, was trumped by her student. But yeah, the double foot stomp to the head, basically, is what how Riho retained. And that was it. Yeah, so the student has surpassed the teacher. And now we get to the AEW World Championship. If Cody Rhodes loses this match, he will never challenge for the AEW World Championship title in the future ever again. It lasted 29 minutes and 35 seconds. Chris Jericho, the Le Champion, being accompanied by Jake Hager. Chris Jericho is the AEW World Champion. Versus Cody Rhodes being accompanied by MJF. And your judges for this AEW World Championship title match, if it will go to a 60-minute draw, which I doubt it was going to be 60 minutes either way, but in case if there was going to be a draw, for the 60-minute time limit, where the 60-minute time limit, the 60-minute time limit will expire. Easy for me to say, you know. Your judges were the Enforcer, Double A, R. Anderson, the Man of 1,000 Hole, Dean Malenko, who's also known as the Iceman, and the Great Muda. So, the match itself, it was good. The match was an old school match. I enjoyed this match from start to finish, especially when it pertains to Jake Hager's involvement. Especially where you have the referee Aubrey Edwards in the match. Thank God it wasn't Bryce Remsburg, because Bryce Remsburg would have been incompetent in that match too. But Cody Rhodes at one point does a dive in to Chris Jericho on the outside on the elevated ramp away. But Cody Rhodes misses because Jericho got out of the way. And Cody Rhodes lands head first onto that steel ramp, which opened up with a deep cut on his forehead, bleeding mercifully. And you have an official doctor, and I believe his name is Samson. It's the same doctor that used to work for WWE, the same doctor who saved Jerry the King Lawler, I meant to say, back in 2012. When Jerry King Lawler suffered a heart attack on the live Raw. During the match between Dolph Ziggler and whoever was teamed up, CM Punk versus Randy Orton and... No, I'm sorry. It was the primetime players, Darren Young and Taz O'Neill versus Team Hell No, Daniel Bryan and Kane. That's what I meant to say. Because I remember it was Randy Orton and Jerry the King Lawler teamed up against Dolph Ziggler and CM Punk earlier on that night. And then later on, that's when the incident happened with Jerry the King Lawler suffered a heart attack live on air. And then the doctor, I'm assuming his name is Samson, saved Jerry the King Lawler on that night. And he was the best doctor in WWE, unlike this other doctor from WWE right now. Who's still the WWE doctor now, right now, Mr. Z-Pack. Mr. Z-Pack who Z-Packed CM Punk to death. I forgot his name. What was it, Chris something? But I call him Dr. Z-Pack. Sorry, folks. Okay, here we go. So, but he was there. He was checking on Cody Rhodes to see if he's okay. And at one point, look at to stop the match because it was a bad cut. It was a completely bad cut on Cody Rhodes' forehead. So luckily, he returned to the ring, and match still continued on. Jake Hager at one point got involved. He basically took out Cody Rhodes by punching him. Referee Aubrey Edwards seen it, kicks out Jake Hager. Jake Hager had the stone look on his face that he didn't care. And then MJF goes into the face of Jake Hager, says nah, hey, goodbye and everything. Jake Hager beats him up, for his trouble. We have a couple more referees comes out. to kick Jake Hager out. At this point now, it was between Chris Jericho and Cody Rhodes. Match was continuing on. One point, Cody Rhodes goes for the crossroads. Jericho kicks out. Jericho goes for the codebreaker on Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes kicks out. Basically, it's the whole thing of, you kick out my finisher, I'm gonna kick out your finisher. And then in the end, Chris Jericho goes for the lion tamer. And then MJF had a towel. Just magically had a towel out of nowhere. Like, where that came from. Throws the towel in. Calls the referee to throw the match out via forfeit. So Chris Jericho, winner, still your AEW World Champion via forfeit. Because MJF decided to throw a towel in there. I did not see that coming, by the way. I thought, MJF was going to at least like screw over Cody Rhodes by like not tripping him, whatever, out referee looking, whatever. But instead, it was MJF getting a towel and throwing the match out for his best friend. And the crowds hated it. They booed it. And I loved it. Chris Jericho leaves the ring. He goes on stage, and then you have to wrestle in the circle, celebrating with Chris Jericho, and then, which means they're going to be celebrating later on with a little bit of the bubbly. A little bit of the bubbly. After the match, Cody Rhodes is collecting his thoughts. He's a little pissed off, and MJF was is like, I'm sorry, man. He was crying and everything. And then Cody Rhodes let his guard down. Also, MJF low blows him, and the crowds hated MJF. They booed him. Massive heat. And then MJF leaves Cody Rhodes in the ring, and then as MJF's leaving, he's ready to go backstage, but all of a sudden a fan throws a cup of his drink, I'm assuming it was a beer, to MJF, and the security sees this. And we see, us watching at home, we see this, a couple of securities rushing to get this guy for doing that. And I'm like, well, hope that was worth it, buddy. Now, when you pay a ticket to go to these type of shows, you're allowed to boo, to cheer, to say whatever you want to say, to do this, and to do this, and your middle finger, and to flip the bird and everything. You're allowed to do that, but what you should not be doing is by hopping over the barricade. That by the way, that would have been worse for that guy if he would have hopped the barricade and right to MJF, and MJF would have whipped his ass from there. But you don't hop over the barricade and try to fight or start a fight. Let alone throwing stuff, because you're asking to get kicked out at this point. So I hope that was worth it, because that was not. I don't care if you think this is real, because if you're one of those fans that is, it's still real to me, damn it, and you do that type of shit, you're asking to get kicked out. Basically, you can't be hopping over barricades and starting fights. You can't be spinning at people. You can't be Oh, right, that's another thing too. And also you can't be throwing your beer at a wrestler. Or whatever, like a barrier or posters, whatever. That's both up and everything. But I forgot to mention this. Cody Rhodes' mother was in the front row. Jericho at one point went up to her, and then she slaps him. Cody Rhodes go after Jericho, and they start falling. They fall down on near the barricade where she was at, and then she started hitting Jericho again. Like, what the hell? Oh my god. There's a difference too. She's a plant. She's part of the show. That other fan was not part of the show. The one that threw the drink at MJF for what he did to Cody Rhodes and what he did costing Jericho, Cody Rhodes the match. Because Cody Rhodes can't be world champion because of that. Now I'm pretty sure they're gonna go back to that, where since Cody Rhodes is gonna get the title shot again, somewhere in the future. They'll probably do some type of stipulation, type of rule where Cody Rhodes is gonna do for Jericho to change his mind or whatever. Because there's no way that Cody Rhodes is not gonna get another title shot ever again. And on top of that, he didn't get pinned. He didn't submit. MJF cost him the match by throwing it in the towel. It was via a forfeit. So we'll see how that story will play out though. But we'll see. But I digress. But yeah, I enjoyed the match though for what it was. It was good. I thought it was good. And now the match on the end of the show, the main event. It's the unsanctioned lights out match. Once the lights goes out, that means whatever happens in this match, AEW will not be responsible. And if you have a weak and you have a weak heart, you have a weak stomach, if it's just not your type of match, leave. Last warning. Lights went out, and it came back on, and we're on our way. It was Jon Moxley versus Kenny Omega. Moxley versus Omega in an unsanctioned lights out match. 38 minutes and 45 seconds it lasted. Now, before I get to the match itself, I gotta say this, because I heard nothing but complaints after the show that fans were saying, "Oh, this was too much. This went way too far and all that." And I was saying to myself, really? Jon Moxley on TV told people this unsanctioned match between himself and Kenny Omega was gonna be the go beyond violence. It was gonna be violent. It was gonna be for the weak of it's not gonna be for the weak of heart. He said this could be a match that it's gonna be dangerous. It's gonna be something that fans shouldn't be watching. So, yeah, I should have known coming into this match what it was gonna be. I mean, again, it's called unsanctioned for a reason. It's been done for years, and sure, the way that they did it, it was nowhere compared to what happened years ago for these history matches of unsanctioned lights out. So it shouldn't be surprised to anyone this match was going to be dangerous. It was going to be beyond dangerous. It was going to be nothing but ultra violence. So fans were saying, it was too much. It was too far. This type of match was not the type of match. It was just too much for them. What were you back in the days of ECW, back in the 90s? Where were you back in the days when Mick Foley was tossed off of a cell by The Undertaker in 98 of King of the Ring? Or what happened with Shawn Michaels in Undertaker? What pertains to that? We got matches like this for many years, where matches went too far. And thank God this match didn't end. That's what I gotta say about this too. Especially what happened during this match. I'll get to it right now. So Moxley and Omega they start fighting first, and then all of a sudden Moxley gets outside the ring and he's like, it's time for some garbage wrestling. He brings out a garbage can, hits Omega with it in the head with the trash can lid. They went into the crowd. Moxley hit Omega hits Moxley with a steel chair. Excuse me. Then he puts a trash can on Moxley and performed the double foot stomp on the handrail. Then both of them went back at ringside. Moxley pulled out a baseball bat with barbed wire wrapped around, and he assaulted Omega with it. Omega attacked Moxley with a broom that's also wrapped around barbed wire. And doing the sweeping on the back of Moxley because he's the cleaner. Then they pull a board of mouse traps. Very creative. And then another trash can. And that was by the way, I'm trying to remember who that was. I believe it was Omega who pulled it out. Moxley pulled out 3 or 2 gold chains, referencing Kenny Omega at one point saying, you know, you're the type of wrestler who doesn't like to do chain wrestling, whatever, something like that. I'm trying to remember how it was how Omega said it, but yeah, that was a prime example of Moxley bringing out a chain into the match. But he does he goes for a sidewalk slam and a neckbreaker on top of the chains. Then he tries to choke out Omega with the chains, but Omega hits Moxley with a trash can lid to break the hole. Moxley then gets a screwdriver, tries to stab Omega, which he missed and ends up getting stuck on the turnbuckle. Omega, he strangled Moxley with the chain by pulling over his neck and throwing him over the top rope and hanging like a noose. Omega then goes outside and pulls out a bag of broken glass, the same broken glass. But let's play along. Let's pretend this is the same broken glass that Omega had from AEW Dynamite, the debut on TNT, where Moxley did the paradigm shift to Omega do a coffee table, which was glass. Let's pretend that was that one. I doubt it was that, but let's play along. Let's go along with it. Let's say that was the same broken glass that Omega was collecting to get back at John Moxley for what Moxley did to Omega from the debut show AEW Dynamite on TNT. He brings that out, and he tries to stab Moxley in the eye with it, but then he ends up using it to do this. To Moxley. Omega slams on Moxley on the glass by doing a spine buster. Omega then pulls Moxley on the sharpshooter I'm assuming onto the glass, whatever. But then Moxley starts crawling while he's on glass, by the way. Just to get out of there, by the way. Basically you can't go for a rope break because there's no rules in unsanctioned. So he had to get out of the ring. And Paul Turner was the referee, by the way, of the match, by the way. So at this point, they fight on the rampway. Omega picks up a handful of broken glass and puts it in the mouth of John Moxley and goes for the V trigger, not once but twice. Then goes for the screwdriver that was on the turnbuckle, stuck on the turnbuckle. He goes to the forehead of Moxley, digging in and all that. And then Omega calls, and at this point they're near the stage, and Omega calls out the Elite, which is the Hangman and the Young Bucks, and he wants them to bring out something, and they were hesitant, and Omega he wants them to bring it out, and they decided to bring it out, and it was basically like a trampoline type of creative weapon, but instead of the thing, whatever the thing that you hop on, whatever, what like a remember what it's called. But the point is, it's like a trampoline, but instead of whatever the thing you jump on, to bounce yourself on, it was wrapped around with barbed wire. So basically, it was a barbed wire trampoline in a way, or more like a bed trampoline in a way. But Excalibur called it a barbed wire spider web, something like that. I can't remember how he said it, but Omega, he tried to put Moxley to it, but Moxley counters and he goes for a superplex to Omega onto the barbed wire. But the problem is Moxley also went through it too. So they went to the barbed wire together. Because Moxley did a superplex off the stage onto the barbed wire. And then as a result of this, we got referees, we got officials coming out to help them out of it. And I'm like, from there, Paul Turner, he could have stopped the match right there. Paul Turner could have easily stopped the match right there. But unlike the referee from WWE, from the Hell in a Cell against Seth Rollins and Bray Wyatt, where the referee saying to Seth Rollins, that's enough. This ain't you. You're going too far with this. Stop. Don't do that. Don't do it. Don't you do it. And Seth Rollins like, and then boom, and then no, ring the bell, ding ding ding. At least with Paul Turner, he didn't stop the match from there because he's like, no, this is too far, because Paul Turner was like, this is too far. You're going too far with this. But at least he didn't stop the match from there. But since Moxley and Omega going to the barbed wire trampoline, because right there that match could have ended right there because it would have been difficult to get them out of there, because that's real barbed wire. You don't want them getting a deep cut, to get a gash or whatever, So luckily they got out of there, safely, sort of. But yeah, I'm glad that the match didn't end because of that, because this is unsanctioned. This is a type of match that should not be stopped no matter what. Same thing with Hell in a Cell, which is why I don't forget, and I don't forgive WWE for that. And that's why I no longer subscribe to WWE Network. Because you screwed over Seth Rollins' finisher. You screwed over Seth Rollins of being a babyface and a champion. You screwed over Bray Wyatt and the Fiend character. And more importantly, you screwed over the Hell in a Cell concept. So, yeah, that's that. But back to the match. So they continue to fight. Kenny Omega goes for the V-trigger, which they went through the plexiglass sign of Full Gear to Jon Moxley. I thought that was cool. Match continues on as they go back to the ring. Moxley removes the canvas and reveals let's call it that too, by the way. The canvas for the trampoline. There you go. But yeah, the ring canvas was revealed of the wooden frame, plywood, So Omega hits him with the DDT and goes for the Phoenix Splash, but Moxley moves out of the way. Omega at this point, look like he got cut open a little bit. Face first into the wood. Moxley goes for the elevated paradigm shift onto the plywood and gets the win. So Jon Moxley wins the unsanctioned match. Now it will not count for this win for the win record, and Omega, it will not count for his loss record. But at the same time, Moxley got what he wanted. He beat Kenny Omega, the best wrestler in the world. And here's the thing too. I'd love to see a regular singles match between Jon Moxley and Kenny Omega in the future, to see how they'll do what it doesn't involve an unsanctioned type of match. And then that way fans will stop complaining about the match. Oh, it was too far. It was gruesome and all that. I had to turn away and all that. But anyways, so yeah, Jon Moxley wins, as I expected. Now it could have went either way. And this match itself, the unsanctioned lights out match, stole the show. Fans loved it. For those that were there attending, they loved it just like I loved it. Me watching at home, I loved it. And the hell with those people that that said, oh, it was too much and blah blah blah, yada yada yada. Go watch WWE then. Go watch WWE's PG Raw SmackDown. If you think that, you know, if you can't handle that type of wrestling in AEW or anywhere else. I mean, the one thing they didn't do in this match is that they didn't do any flaming table spot. So there you go. And that was the show. Before we get to the overall show rating and how I felt about the pay-per-view itself as well, let me first talk about my highlights of AEW Full Gear. The one that will not be included will be Promo of the Night. Promo of the Night will not be included because no one cut a promo on the show here. So, but Swerve of the Night will go to MJF throwing a towel to cost Cody Rhodes the AEW World Title match. Video promo of the night, even though it was in the buy-in, I'm gonna go with Proud and Powerful versus Young Bucks video promo, which it was pretty nice and well done, and the way it told a story as well, where it pertains to how they grew up on wrestling and everything, and how they grew up, you know, where they came from and everything, and where they got and where they're at right now. I thought that was well done. So yeah, I thought that was good. So that's why I'm put that as my video promo of the night. My moment of the night will have to go to Ricky Morton taking some crazy bumps after the tag team match between Proud and Powerful versus New Young Bucks. Yo, Ricky Morton was on fire. so I'm gonna go with that as my moment of the night. Entrance of the night will have to go to Emi Sakura, what pertains to her doing, you know, Freddie Mercury, you know, the mic stand, the jacket, you know, her outfit and everything, and the fake mustache. We will rock you. And Jon Moxley with his entrance coming through the crowd, because that's the thing he used to do when he was in WWE, when he was Team Ambrose, being part of the Shield. Moving the night, we'll have to go to Kenny Omega's V-trigger from the stage. You know, where it pertains to doing the V-trigger to Jon Moxley, to the plexiglass sign of a Full Gear. Finish of the night, Jon Moxley's paradigm shift to Kenny Omega from the Lights Out match. Performance of the night, we'll have to go to Rey Fenix from that three-way tag team match for the AEW World Tag Team Championship. Rey Fenix was all over the place with his performance, his dives and everything. He's amazing. Show stealer of the night, we'll have to go to the Lights Out match between Moxley versus Omega. And finally, match of the night, we'll have to go to the AEW World Championship match between Jericho versus Cody. And my overall rating for the show for AEW Full Gear, the show from November 9th, 2019, for his All Elite Wrestling review, I'm gonna go with 6 out of 10. This show was good, or at best solid. This supposed to be a pay-per-view quality match, but the only thing I thought was pay-per-view quality was basically 2 matches that I thought was very good, and the 2 matches that could have been good or could have been better in a way. But I still thought it still would have been nice if it was had more effort into it, especially when it pertains to the other matches that I feel like it could have been it was a letdown in a way. But yeah, I'm gonna go 6 out of 10 for this pay-per-view. Pay-per-view could have been better, but that's all I can say from that one. So yeah, 6 out of 10 for AEW Full Gear. But with that being said, thank you all for watching. For It's Natural Born Thriller, saying peace on the streets. For this was your All Elite Wrestling review, where it pertains to giving you results of AEW Full Gear from November 9th, 2019. And with that being said, thank you for watching. And once again, rest in peace to Matt Travis, who unfortunately passed away on November 9th, 2019. Gone too soon. Could have been a big star in wrestling if that will never happen. So, but until next time, what pertains to All Elite Wrestling review, folks, and other reviews that will catch up eventually. I'm out. Take care.